At home, I'm just a regular wife beater. I had no idea I could turn my passion into a career.
You'll learn so much on the force. Before the training, I actually thought that if a woman improperly mounted her phone in her car, that I would just instruct her into safe compliance. But through the rigorous training, I learned that you just have to tell her she's safe and then rip her out of the car. The more terror, the better is our motto.
The thing I love about my job is shutting down protests. I was happy to shut down democracy this year with great success.
Except of course the Black Lives Matter protest. We support that because by condemning overseas police for overseas injustice, it takes the spotlight off what we're doing. Hey, my name's Freddie. I'm a bit of a joker. In fact, you know, at the BLM protest, I made a little bet with some of the guys. I said, who can imitate the officer who killed George Floyd the longest? So we all took a knee and saw who could withstand it the longest. And the funniest thing was all the protesters thought we were on their side and showing respect, but we're not on their side. We're not. When we were shoulder to shoulder moving in on the women and children at the markets, I whispered to me mate, I said, 1.5 metres, eh? Social distancing, and we all laughed and then kicked the shit out of an old lady.
Earlier this year, we did find some African gangs doing home invasions, and I gave them a slap on the wrist and said, mate, if you want to do stuff like that, join the Victoria Police Force and get paid to do it.
I was so worried when I signed up because of all of the things that us police officers have to deal with, but luckily this year we were more focused on pregnant women on Facebook and things like that. That was priority number one. Shutting down free speech. Free speech, like, there are plenty of things people are writing on Facebook that we can arrest them for. Free speech isn't really my thing either. But there's nothing better than getting a call from a hysterical woman, my boyfriend's beating me. You're like, oh, rightio, and you speed over, but then you get a more important call to go and break up a funeral. And I'm dead serious, it's bloody brilliant, dead serious. See, dead, because it's a funeral that we broke up. Anyway.
Look, this year we did make it an offence to fail to comply with statewide virtue signalling laws.
Wearing masks like that is wasting a mask.
Look, it does also help us hide our identity too, as well as dehumanising those we arrest.
Look, it's not our job to protect life, liberty and property. We just do what we're told. Now, I don't see anywhere in history where it's been a problem that men have obeyed orders without question.
The other day I had a hysterical woman screaming at me because her son was contemplating suicide every day, and I just took her by the hand and said, our Lord knows suffering. Our Lord Daniel Andrews did 100 press conferences in a row, so you see, he knows what suffering is. And then I taught her son how to tie a slip knot and was on my way. I was so glad that he was into arts and crafts.
Whoa.
I can't wait till 2021. I hope there's a new threat we can act upon and we can push the public further and further into submission. I myself love getting choked, so it makes things better, you know. Of course, law and order is important, but perhaps it's time to limit the government in the amount of power they have over your life, liberty and property. In my next video, I'm going to describe how I believe the police should behave in our society. There are some fundamental flaws in our understanding of law and order that no one else seems to be addressing, so I'm very excited for the next video. So make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you there.